All right, boys. We listen, we got a big one here. This is next week UFC 329 is going down in Las Vegas. One of the best 125 pounders on the planet. Joined today by Lone'er Kavanagh. He's taking on Brandon Royval next weekend. Lonnie, I want to ask you this, brother. Before we talk fights, before we talk, all of that, for people that might be tuning in for the first time next weekend, Paramount, Conor McGregor, all of that. What can they know about you that they might not see in the fight? Like describe yourself other than being a fighter.
Or other than being a fighter. I'd like to say that I'm a nice guy, but I guess you have to ask people around me. And you know, it's hard because fighting is my life. Do you know what I mean? And I love my life. So when someone asks me what else am I around it, this is it. This is me.
Yeah, are you more of like a private guy? Do you like to keep to yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I like keeping to myself. Obviously, like I have a good friendship group around me, but other than that, I'm not like too much on social media and stuff like that.
So is there a point where like you've got to step away from fighting? There's got to be something to take your mind off of fighting.
Well, yeah, of course. But most of the time, it's just trying shit with the boys. So I don't know if I can swear. It's just like messing around with the boys. You know what I mean? Like chilling. I love walking my dogs. I love a bit of downtime. Like I live not far from the river in London, so it's nice to just chill. And then when it's out of camp, anything to do with food, chilling, stuff like that, I'm all there. I'm all for it.
Since you've had some time obviously to collect now, are you like a big spender guy? Like when that 100K hits your bank account, did you make a big purchase?
I'm gonna say no, but yeah, like I bought a new car. But I've been planning. It wasn't because of the 100K. I planned to buy a new car anyway. But other than that, everything stays the same. I'm not the biggest spender in the world.
What kind of car was it?
I got Porsche Taycan.
Was was that like was that on the list? That was like when I get a little bit of money, this is my car that I'm buying.
Yeah, yeah. I've wanted it for a while, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
And when you got the keys and you officially drive off the lot, like what was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was awesome. So, when you first get something that's like it's crazy and you've wanted it for so long, it doesn't feel real. So it takes you a couple of days to adjust. Like, oh no, this is actually mine. And then once that happened, yeah, it's also I love it. So I'm happy with it.
What was the first song you played when you drove off?
Oh, that's a hard one. I can't even remember. I don't even know. Something probably by Jay Huss, some like English rapper. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what's being like consistently played in that car? Or are you kind of like all over the place with your music?
I'm all over the place. I love loads of different things. So I like a lot of American rap. I like a lot of English rap, but I listen to a lot of like R&B as well. When you're in your feels a little bit, when you're late night drives, I like I like a bit more chill music on the way to training. It can vary. Stevie Wonder. It can be UK drill. It just depends on the mood.
Okay, so what do you think of this division right now? Especially like I would say as far as the fighters and how young they are, right? They got you, they got Josh Van, they got Tatsuro Taira. It's almost like a young man's division at this point. Obviously, we've got Pantoja and you've got I think Almabayev's 32, but yeah, it's kind of seems like a young man's division, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm gonna be biased. I think it's the best division in the UFC. But I definitely feel like it's a very exciting division now, especially with like it's always chopping and changing. It's fast moving now, especially like a few years ago they were thinking about getting rid of the division, and now look at it, I feel like again being biased, I think it has some of the most exciting fights.
Let me ask you this one as well. As far as like you've had a very, very successful mixed martial arts career and you're still like, you know what I mean? You're still very young. Um, when you experience a loss for the first time and then you had some time to digest it, obviously you get the main event afterwards, but what do you think the biggest mental hurdle was?
Of course, like losing is never fun. Do you know what I mean? And what's hard to like realize at the beginning is that loss doesn't define you. Do you know what I mean? And my thing is, yeah, I'm not here to be undefeated. I'm here to be the best fighter that I possibly can be. And I believe I can be the best fighter in the world. But like the fact of me being undefeated, it never bothered me. It was more the fact that like, I made mistakes. and those are the things that you need to get over. Like when you make a mistake, but I have such a good team around me, such a good support system, and we learn from it, and we're going to continue to learn from it. And that's the main thing. Like loss doesn't define you. Make sure it's a hard lesson, but it's a lesson sometimes you need to learn. Make sure you learn from it. Do you know what it is like? I don't obviously I understand that the worst possible outcome is there. Do you know what I mean? But it's not something I focus on. You're gonna get thoughts like that. Do you know what I mean? Your nerves go up and down. Sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're nervous, sometimes you're excited. But that's, I think, one of the most beautiful things about this sport, like the uncertainty between things. If it's something uncertain, you wouldn't want to do it. It would be pointless. It wouldn't push. You wouldn't push. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't go to work hard. It's just so that uncertainty is what I love. Obviously, sometimes I'm like, okay, no, this is stressful. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, at the end of the day, I love this. This is what I want to do. So yeah, the worst possible outcome is there, but you're doing whatever you can. You're training as hard as you can to make sure that that chance gets less and less.
And that nervous energy right before you're about to make that walk into the cage, your music's about to hit. Like, have you found anything else in life that's ever going to give you that same feeling before you walk into that cage? Have you found anything like that yet?
Absolutely not. It, I can't even put into words what it feels like. Do you know what I mean? Someone asked me, what does it feel like? How does it feel walking out? I didn't even know how to say it. Do you know what I mean? But I know I love it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to describe. Like I love it. It's scary, but I love it. Do you know what I mean?
And so let's talk about Brandon Royval, right? I was looking at his record recently. Pantoja twice, Manel Cap, Joshua Van. Obviously, he's got the injury against Brandon Moreno. It seems like the guy's only losing to like the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? The best of the best guys. So when you look at him and you look at his record, do you pay attention to that stuff at all, or do you just pay attention to like, okay, this is my opponent. I'm not buying into anything else on his record.
Yeah, it's more that this is my opponent. This is who's in front of me, and this is what we're going to work towards. All the rest is unnecessary noise.
Do you think his chin potentially has an expiry date?
I think everyone's does. Do you know what I mean? And I do believe that I can finish him and I can find it. Yeah, it's crazy. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I want. I've said it like before. Brandon's been around for a long time. He's been, like you said, he's fought cream of the crop. And this is what I want. To be the best, you got to fight the best. And he's been at the top of a long time, and I feel like it's a good fight. I'm excited for him.
Yeah. Are you a guy that could ever play a character, or do you have to be yourself at all times?
No, I have to be myself. I don't think I could play a character.
What do you think of that aspect when guys kind of, like Colby Covington, Josh Hokett, like it's worked for certain guys. What's your views on the whole thing?
Look, it's not for me, but at the same time, I understand that it sells fights, and so I can't hate on it because it brings a lot of attention to the sport. Do you know what I mean? Like Conor McGregor is the biggest like name and face, and he's brought so much attention to the sport by being a bit more out there. Do you know what I mean? So I can't hate on it, but it's just personally not for me to play a character.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself as the champ. I want to get to the top, come champ, do what I want to do, and then I want to get out on top.
So 5 years from now, you're on top of the world. Are you staying on top? Are you continuing through your 30s, or are you eventually getting out in your 30s?
I'd like to get out in my 30s, but at the same time, I don't know until I'm there, innit? I may feel differently when I'm there. When I'm there, I'm like, no, I'm going until the wheels fall off. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I love this sport, and I love my life. Do you know what I mean? And I'm gonna continue to do it until I don't love it anymore.
All right, Lone'er Kavanagh, he is taking on Brandon Royval next weekend, UFC 329. Listen, brother, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you chopping it up with me. If anybody, I'll ask you this again, if anybody is tuning in for the first time next weekend, or if there's people returning to support you, what would you like to tell them?
Just expect fireworks. I'm always coming for a finish, and it's going to be an exciting fight. I look forward to it.